Hey guys, Josh Mabe here. Today we are going to go over a little training that everyone should probably do. If you work with firearms, as you carry a gun every day like I do, this is my duty rig. I've got my level 3 vest. It does have a plate sleeve inside of it, front and back. I've got my spare mags, got my duty weapon, my Glock 17 Gen 5. We'll go ahead and take a look at it real quick. Gun is empty, no mag, safe direction, click, gun is fully empty. This is Glock 17 Gen 5 with a TLR1 by Streamlight. I've been carrying this gun for, wow, almost 5 years now. It's been a great gun. I've shot competitions with this gun, carried this gun, and it's been a good one. It's hard to beat a Glock. If you look on the outside, this thing, I've been bumped into so much stuff. It's got a little wear down on it, starting to get smooth on the corners. You can tell I've put this one through some work, and this gun has yet to let me down. But that's my duty rig. I got a Safariland holster, got a Bianchi duty belt, and got Black Hawk spare mag holder. And this has basically been my 5-day-a-week uniform for 6 years now. So it's always good. You want to practice how you fight. So for me, the most likely situation that I'm ever going to have to use a firearm for defense is at work. So I like to train vest on, duty rig, duty belt, everything. I try to do that at least 2 to 3 times a month. I also train for my concealed carry. I will draw from my concealed carry holster and fire off a few shots, practice reloads. I'll practice transitions. A lot of time you practice, and I know a lot of people don't have these options, but you go to the indoor range, you've got a stationary target, just bam, 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 you're hitting great, everything's good. But there's no moving around, there's no trying to find cover, you're not getting your heart rate up. So you really, if you can find an outdoor range where you can move around a little bit, or you're fortunate enough to have your own property, you need to get out and train the way you may have to use your weapon. So set your targets up, do transitions, fire 3 times, find cover, reload, fire from cover, practice firing while moving. You need to lay down cover fire while trying to find cover for your body. You need to do anything you can to stay alive in the fight. So, sorry, it's hot out here. My glasses are fogging up. I can barely see anything. But we're not shooting right now. Let me take these off. Wipe these off a little bit. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's the main thing. Just practice the way you might have to fight. If you can't, I understand that. Just do what you can, practice as much as you can, because it's all going to come down to muscle memory if you ever have to defend yourself. So the more you practice, the better your odds are going to be. So if you look down here, I've got some steel targets set up. I might be standing away. Got some steel targets set up. I've got a barrel here. It's going to act as my cover. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be standing closer down there. I'm going to see the threat. I'm going to draw. I'm going to fire on the threat while retreating. I'm going to get to cover. I'm going to do a reload, and I'm going to fire on the threat until it's stopped. So that's what the drill is today. See how that goes. Like I said, I'm wearing everything I do at work, so this is the closest to actual simulation I can get. So let's see how that works. Okay. All right, in a defensive situation, your first shot is probably going to be your most important one. You land the first shot from the holster as quick as possible, you have a massive leg up in this fight. Does one shot on target mean that your threat is over? Anything can happen. So you want to make sure the threat is stopped. Whether that means one shot or your entire mag. Make sure the threat is stopped and that you are safe before doing anything else. That's your main priority. Being safe, stopping the threat. Your first shot, like I said, most important. So practice a lot. Drawing, acquiring target, firing. Drawing, acquiring target, firing. A good way to do that, load up. You fill a magazine up. I don't know. I try to go 5 rounds at a time. Help save on ammo a little bit and extend your range time a little bit. Everybody's a little different. But what I like to do, you can see the steel right here. What I like to do, load 5 rounds, make the gun ready, holster, I'll draw, acquire target, fire 1 shot, reholster. Draw, fire 1 shot, reholster. So we're going to go through that. It's a great practice. Try to do that one. Like I said, if you conceal carry, do it from concealed carry. Be careful on your reholstering because not everybody uses Kydex holsters. Some people use the little sticky holsters. Some people use nylon inside the waistband, leather, anything like that. It's not something that holds open for the gun. So when you reholster, you have to be really careful. You don't want to try to be fumbling around. This gun's completely empty. You don't want to try to be fumbling around trying to get your gun back in with a loaded gun. So in that situation, if I was practicing from concealed carry, what I would do, load 1 round and 1 round only. Chamber it, get your holster in position, draw, fire. Especially on a sticky holster. Take your holster out, rechamber, put the holster back on, slide it back in. You don't want to be fumbling around with a loaded gun, tilting and pointing in to your side. That's where bad things happen. So if it's from concealed carry, 1 round at a time. If you've got a Kydex holster, something like this one right here that I got, you can just load it up, draw, reholster. The light's catching a little bit. Reholster, draw, reholster. So just remember that always be safe no matter what you're doing, practicing anything. The last thing you want is to have to go to the hospital while you're out having fun on the range. That is not fun for anyone. But I got all 5 shots on target. Draw, acquire, fire. Draw, acquire, fire. Draw, acquire, fire. All right, another good thing to practice when you're out on the range, if you want to get a little more actual to see how you perform under pressure, is the closest way to simulate being under stress is to get your heart pumping. Transitioning is a great way. Another way is to run around a little bit, get your heart really pumping, go straight from running to shooting, see if you can stay on target. So as y'all can see, I'm a rather large guy, so it's pretty easy for me to get my heartbeat up. But one thing I like to do is I like to run several laps around here, get my heart rate up, come right back up here, draw, and see if I can put all 5 shots on target. So we'll run through that. You're going to hear some awful heavy breathing. Like that. A little out of breath, but it's a good way to keep the blood pumping. As you can see, I think I did a target transitions too. I went from the bottom to the top. I think I pulled 1 shot, but 4 solid hits, and that 1 pull wouldn't have missed its target. So once again, it's a good thing to practice. Get your heart up, get your blood pumping, get your breathing going heavy, and just see how you do. Practice your drawing, which you can do that in your... Chickens got scared. You can do that. A good thing you can do is make sure your magazines are completely out of the room in your house. Make sure your gun is empty. If you've got somebody else in your house, have them check your gun. No magazines, nothing in the same room that you are. That is extremely important. Do dry fire training. Find something in the room, a wall, anything like that. The gun's completely empty. There's no ammo in the room. There's no magazines in the room even. Put your holster on just like you would carry. In the room, draw, come to your shooting position, click. Re-engage the firing pin, draw, come to your shooting position, spot on the wall, click. Same thing, re-engage your firing pin. Hands up, draw, shoot. Draw, shoot. Practice one-handed. Practice any way you can. Do as much as you can. Dry fire practice, get used to that trigger. You want to be extremely familiar with the trigger. Aim at a spot, squeeze. Don't let that front sight leave that spot. Aim, squeeze. Aim, squeeze. You can even, I do it a lot of times at night if I don't have time on the range. I'll watch something on TV and I'll do it so it's more of a surprise. Every time a commercial comes on, I draw, engage the threat. Next commercial comes on, draw, engage the threat. Next commercial, draw, engage the threat. Anything you can to get trigger time helps, whether it's on the range or even just dry firing. Anything is better than nothing. If you've got a place to get out, set this drill up, great. If you don't carry for duty, you're probably not going to be wearing armor. If you like to train with armor for a just-in-case situation, wear it while you're shooting. It makes a difference. If you practice with a rifle, having a vest on, even a plate carrier with the small straps, makes a difference. So practice how you plan to fight. If it's just for concealed carry, always practice from your concealed carry holster. Practice as much as you can. And that will help you in the long run. Alright, so we've talked about the best ways to practice. Practice how you plan to fight. That's the basis for everything. You always want to do that. Don't stand in one spot. Try to move around. Practice drawing from your holster. If your range won't do that, if you've got no other options, do the dry fire training that we talked about in your home. But like I said, once again, no ammo in the same room you are, no magazines in the same room you are. If there's someone else in your house, have them check the weapon as well. You don't want any risk of a possible accident, period. So don't ever go straight home and start doing it without double checking, triple checking, quadruple checking everything. Safety, #1 priority, period. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If there's anything about this video you want to talk about, if you want to ask any questions, if you see something you don't like that I did, let me know in the comments. We'll talk about it. I don't care. I don't know everything. I just know what I do and what I feel like will work for me. If you've got a difference of opinion, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to discuss it with you. I love talking about firearms, training, anything like that. So please let me know in the comments. Hope you like. I hope you subscribe. If you feel like it, please share the video. I really appreciate it. Aside from that, I am Josh Mabe, and I will see you on the range.